The themes agenda of the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration is centered around traffic management and transportation, health and environment, education and technology, making Lagos a 21st economy, entertainment and tourism. If well engineered, it will definitely rev up the socio-economic well-being of the state. During a live broadcast in commemoration of Democracy Day, the Lagos State Governor reiterated his resolve to achieve this for the benefit of Lagosians. Welcome to the Governor This Week. I am Lekan Onabanjo. At a simple but colorful ceremony held at the Oniru Palace on Victoria Island, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu installed Abdulwasiu Omogbolahan Lawal as the new traditional ruler of Iru Kingdom. His Royal Highness Omogbolahan Lawal then received the traditional staff and officially ascended the throne as the 15th Oniru King. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who described the monarch as a seasoned technocrat and distinguished administrator of international repute, said Lawal's ascension to the throne marked the next phase of Iru journey into the era of prosperity.
Our new Oba is someone that I have known personally for the past 25 years. It's not only has he been an outstanding Nigerian, he has been a distinguished Lagosian. He has been a technocrat and he has been a fine gentleman. He's a man that I personally respect. And when the cabinet of Lagos State were reviewing the memo a couple of days back, it was mentioned by Mr. Deputy Governor, and I confirmed it, that when we're putting together the cabinet of our administration a year ago, our king, Oba Omogbolahan Lawal, was actually being considered for 3 positions at once, before we took the very difficult one and said we believe he will do well as a Commissioner for Agriculture. And I'm sure cabinet members are here to confirm that he has added a lot of value to our council. And indeed, it's an honor. Our own loss in cabinet is a gain for Iruland and for Lagos State in the Obaship. We have no doubt that the quality of our new Oba will reflect almost immediately as a transformational leader. A lot of people also don't know that he's not just an agricultural expert, he's also an economist, a construction economist of international repute. And I'm indeed happy, and I know that Iruland will see his reign not only peaceful, but there will be instrumental development in the land. Today is an historic day in the history of Iruland, and as we gather to celebrate the installation of the 15th Oniru of Iruland, on behalf of myself, the governor, the government, and the people of Lagos State, I heartily congratulate His Royal Majesty Oba Abdulwasiu Omogbolahan Lawal, the Abisogun II, the Oniru of Iruland, on your accession of the throne of your forefathers. Let me also rejoice with the sons and daughters of this kingdom on this auspicious occasion, which has been necessitated by the transition of the 14th Oniru of Iruland, Oba Idowu Abiodun Oniru, a man that we all love and we all know too, but who joined his ancestors on September 2019 after a prosperous and glorious reign on the throne. It is my firm expectation that you will all rally round your new Oba and join hands with him for the growth and progress of Iruland and Lagos State in general. Given the pedigree of His Royal Majesty, I have no doubt that his reign will be a progressive one. The traditional institution we are all celebrating today predates all other systems of governance. It has arisen from within us, taking into consideration our culture and history and our narratives, and it has done a remarkable job of adopting and evolving with changing times over the centuries. The traditional institution will continue to be reckoned with well into the future. It will forever be our unshakable connection to our rich and proud heritage. and a guiding and a comforting presence at all times. Our traditional rulers are playing very strategic roles in contemporary society, not only as symbol and custodian of our tradition and culture, but also as a rallying point to all of our society, agent of stability and development. Only a few days ago, I inaugurated the State Community Policing Advisory Committee, in which His Royal Majesty Oba Riwon Babatunde Akinolu, the Oba of Lagos, was also appointed as a co-chairman in what is yet another testament to the important role of our traditional rulers in governance and in the attainment of peace and security in our community and in our state. Your Royal Highness, I pledge the full support of the state government towards the realization of your vision for Iru Kingdom. It is heartwarming to see how the kingdom has grown in leaps and bounds in the last few decades, rising to become one of the economic nerve centers, not only in Nigeria, but also in West Africa. Our administration will continue to accord this part of the state, like others, the attention it deserves in terms of infrastructural development, economic empowerment, human capital development, security and safety of life and property. There is no doubt that the future of the Iru Kingdom continues to be bright and promising, and that the accession today of His Royal Majesty Oba Abdul Wasiu Omogbola Lawal Abisogun II marks the start of the next phase of the journey into the future. I commend the kingmakers and elders of Iru land, as well as the ruling house, for the peace and mutual understanding that has characterized the process that has led to the installation of a new monarch. Within a period of less than 1 year after the demise of the previous Oniru, this is a remarkable feat worthy of commendation and emulation. I want to join the Royal Majesty to build on this foundation. There is no better way to ascend to this worthy throne than in the atmosphere of this goodwill and harmony that we have seen here today. As the father of all in Iru land, and as the Oba of Lagos have advised, you need to unite everyone and ensure that it is the greatest good for the greatest number. As the father of all on Iru, you have an important responsibility to strengthen the existing bond and unity for the overall development of the land. Once again, I congratulate you, I congratulate your family, I congratulate your wife and your children that are not here on this new level of responsibility that you have taken up as the Oba of Iru land, and all the good people of Iru land on this historic occasion. Long may you reign, Kábíyèsí, kí adé kó pẹ́ lórí, kí bàtà kó pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀, kí ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ kó má pọ̀ sí.
Efforts by the administration of Babajide Sanwo-Olu to deliver quality learning to pupils across public schools in Lagos State got a boost on Thursday as the state's government took delivery of 20,000 digital devices donated by one of the foremost banks in Nigeria to aid learning. The devices were personally handed over to Governor Sanwo-Olu by the bank's Chief Executive Officer, Adeshola Adedontan, at a ceremony held at the State House in Marina. Governor Sanwo-Olu, while lauding the timely intervention as the government was massively deploying technology to transform the conventional mode of teaching and learning, said digital tools would further scale up investments in the education sector and raise the capacity of government to achieve its vision.
We started this journey about a year ago, and we launched our project TEAMS, which is THEMES, right? The third pillar there, which is education and technology. It didn't just drop off the radar. It was something that we thought of very well. It was something that we are passionate about, but more importantly, it was something that we believe can help us define the next generation that will be coming right behind us. But nobody thought that COVID or anything around what we're seeing today a year ago will have defined how we live. And so when we set up our economic agenda, and education stood very clearly there And of course, we cannot do education without technology. So the E there was education and technology, both of them together, knowing fully well that we need to aggressively improve the quality, the learning outcomes of our education, but we needed to do it using technology as a strong enabler for that to happen. Those were our vision. So it's not out of place that we're doing what we're doing today. It was what we have thought and we had researched about. And so that's why I want to first, before I go to the back, also commend Mr. Oshika. Thank you for your observation. And it's because when you have people that share the vision with you, when you have people that understand what drives their 5 to 8 job at the end of the day, then you see that the commissioner knows that on her KPI, these are some of the things that she needed to do. And so that's why the commissioner for science and tech, even if he gets on top of Third Mainland Bridge, outside of jumping into the lagoon and turning back, he has to turn back. Right? And by the next day and the next day, you found 40 people, coming around you, and you were worried that how it's going to go. You are just sharing and helping them to validate a vision that all of us have signed on to. You are just helping us to actualize a vision that we're all seeing. We've all believed that that is the way to go. And I want to thank you that even whilst we didn't know that COVID was going to be around 2020, several years ago, you had seen it. That was why you were resolute and knowing that even when it was 2G, you knew that 4G was going to come one day. So thank you very much. That is the power of entrepreneurship. And that is the power of staying in whatever vision you have, whatever, ideas you have, and just stay the course, and that the time will come. So we're here today, not only because we have COVID, but like I said, because it's a vision that we have thought of. But COVID and the circumstance we find ourselves has helped us also to fast track it, and we're at the level where we just don't need to talk, we need to actualize it. And it's interesting and exciting that we have found a partner, and a real partner, in First Bank. What state government will do is we are going to commit, and we'll see how we'll do another, maybe 50,000 now, so that we can wrap up that number and it can be real. Right? So we also understand that relationship must be mutually beneficial. It cannot be one-sided. So that when you're also defending it, you can look at the another side of it and say that, yeah, Lagos State is also doing so much on the business side, so that we want you to stay afloat. So we can balance both, and you can see that it will be a win-win situation. The children will be happy, the teachers will be happy, your shareholders will be happy, and Mr. Governor too will be happy. Technology is only anything on the shelf. It's what you put it to. It's the use you put it to that is important. It cannot speak for itself. It's only when you activate and use it that you can give it a real life. So at the end of the day, we can speak all the grammar, we can push all of these equipments and appliances to be available, but it is left for you to ensure that the learning outcomes and the skills that is required of these things come to reality. Because it will amount to waste of both resources and time if we don't see the output and the outcomes in the number of distinctions that we see in our students, in the number of the quality of the tomorrow that we want to begin to build for these children, and in the number of ability to want to use technology as a strong enabler for their tomorrow. That, I think, is a responsibility that Ministry of Education and all the tutor generals and all the quality assurance people and the students themselves have to pledge to us to ensure that indeed what we are planning and what we are ascribing to you, you will do us good and you will do it well. Everybody has a role to play, from the vision of the governor and the government to the ministry understanding the vision, to a private sector, an outstanding private sector company keying into that vision, to young entrepreneurs, developers, actualizing that vision, and to the beneficiaries and to the students who are going to be the real users. So all of us have a role to play, And I'm believing that each and every one of us have understood their responsibility, and it's only when everybody works well that we'll build a system that is enduring and is sustainable and something that all of us will be proud of. Because in future, they will ask all of us, what have we done with our time? What have we done, or what did we do when we had those opportunities?
In commemoration of Democracy Day, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu commended Lagosians for their unflinching support in moving the state forward and developing democracy in Nigeria. The governor appreciated the residents in a live broadcast, promising good governance for the people of Lagos State.
Fellow Lagosians, on Saturday, March 9, 2019, you demonstrated great confidence in me and in our great party, the All Progressive Congress, APC, by overwhelmingly electing me as the 15th governor of our dear state. For me, it remains an humbling privilege to be the leader of a government that you freely and massively elected into office. I remain truly grateful for your trust and confidence. You will recall that in my acceptance speech, I told you, dear Lagosians, that while the victory may bear my name, because it must bear a name, it actually belongs to you. 1 year on, that view has not changed. The government is and will continue to be for you and about your welfare and about your collective future. Good people of Lagos, in my inaugurational address, I promise you a greater Lagos. Today, on the first anniversary of our inauguration, it is my pleasure to brief you about the progress we have made on our journey towards a greater Lagos, using our team's agenda as our guide. As you are aware, traffic management and transportation is the first leg of our team's agenda, considering the pivotal role of transportation as a major driver of our socio-economic activity. Our goal is to deliver a reliable internodal system of transportation and a functional convenience system for our people. Driven by this aspiration, I signed an executive order against indiscriminate waste dumping, waste and traffic management on my first day in office, aside from setting the tone of our government as a signal, a behavioral expectation from the citizens and a major point of government transformational interest. As we also keep about the safety of lives on our roads and to stem that rising tide of accident on the streets, our government restricted motorcycles and tricycles to only 6 local government and 9 LCDA. We have launched a new articulated vehicle number plate comprising 3 number plates per set for road safety purposes that we see going forward. Consequently, we are deepening investment in waterways and in our light rail system. These, we believe, are long overdue alternative for our road network. On February 4th, 2020, as we made a giant leap in our resolve to develop an integrated transportation system by officially commissioning 8 new state-of-the-art ferries in addition to the existing 6 we have, which we use to kickstart our expansion of the large ferry services on our waterways. Our government also recently unveiled a 180-ton by 180,000 kilogram barge for public use. This can be used for a lot of venue, social events, for wedding, for naming ceremony, and for birthdays. With the successful completion of our elevated sea crossing track on the Blue Line, which is around the marina area, Lagos had seen the construction work has begun and the last phase of our Blue Line scheme. The project is critical to the achievement of our vision of our internodal transportation system. Dear Lagosians, I'm also pleased to inform you that the plan to construct the 4th mainland bridge is equally on course. Recently, we shortlisted 8 out of the over 30 firms that expressed interest in the project. This set of 8 that we've shortlisted have moved into what we call the request for proposal level. In the coming weeks and months, you will certainly be hearing more on the various steps of implementing this very important project. We're also working to make our roads better. Several roads have been rehabilitated while other ones are at various stages of completion. The Abule-Egba-Oshodi BRT corridor, the Penn Cinema Bridge, the Lagos-Badagry Express Road, the Ijede Road, the Agric-Ishawo Road. These are in addition to over 420 other roads that we've had to improve upon and improve the palliatives as we move along. A major highlight of our intervention in roads was the commissioning of a network of 33 roads at Ojokoro area in December 2019. Concerted efforts are ongoing to ensure a speedy completion of the link bridges and the state's network of roads in Victoria Island and Ifoshe Kofa Bayomi, and the commencement of a 9.8 kilometer regional road, which is from VGC to Freedom Way in Victoria Island, in Lekki, and which is parallel to the Lekki Express Road. I must express my satisfaction with the quality and progress of work on the transport infrastructure project across the states. I urge the good people of Lagos to remain patient as we work to complete all of them to give you a better motoring and commuting experience. On traffic management, we have recruited and inducted over 1,017 LASTMA officers to achieve better flow of traffic and reduction in travel time. And for this purpose, we also commissioned the ultra-modern headquarters of the Vehicle Inspection Service, the VIS, on December 24, 2019. The facility will accommodate the 3 major stakeholders in the vehicle and driving documentation, serving as a one-stop center in line with global practices and for effective traffic and transportation management. In order to sustain the current momentum in the public transportation space, we ask for the cooperation of every citizen of this state, especially in obeying our traffic laws and cooperating with our LASTMA officers who now work extended hours up to 11 o'clock or even beyond for our collective good. These LASTMA officers, in addition to the generous allowances that we've provided for them, we've also equipped them with administrative, sophisticated communication gadgets. We've also increased their fleet of vehicles by providing for them patrol vehicles, drones for ease of traffic management and for enforcement operation. Fellow Lagosians, without a doubt, in the last 365 days, we have a lot has happened in our state for which we must be proud and we must be thankful. In the area of unhindered access to healthcare, which is the second pillar of our agenda, we have commissioned 2 maternal and child centers, which will christen the MCC, at Etiosa and at Igondo, respectively. In the next couple of weeks, we'll be commissioning the one in Badagry and Epe to bring the total number of MCCs commissioned in our administration to 4. For us, nothing should be spared to give Lagosians quality health care. That is why we're rehabilitating, in conjunction with our local government, the entire 377 primary health centers we have across the state to provide first-rate healthcare services to our people. The compassionate side of our government can best be captured by the understanding that life-changing impacts of free medical interventions we have undertaken in the last couple of months have certainly been succor to a lot of our pregnant women, a lot of our indigent citizens, and a lot of our accident and emergencies patients who probably would not have a means of paying the bills at our various secondary hospitals. But we're indeed happy that we've been able to keep life going even with this period of pandemic of COVID-19. In the area of education, the third pillar of our team's agenda, significant feats have been recorded. This is not unexpected because of our demonstrated commitment to this sector, gestured by the increase in the sectorial allocation, which is about 133 billion, which in my view is about 137% over the previous year's budget. In the past 12 months of our government, we have executed a number of initiatives and programs that have raised the standard of education and enhanced the professionalism of our teaching staff across the state.
Facing challenges is a norm for gladiators striving to win and attain excellence. Governor Sanwo-Olu constantly proves himself as one by teaming up with private institutions and evolving proficient, ingenious strategies to overcome obstacles hindering the delivery of quality governance to citizens of Lagos State. And that is it on the Governor this week. But then you can continue with conversations of the Governor's activities on all the social media platforms showing on your screen. See you next week. I am Lekan Onabanjo.